you both chose me as one of your godparents, being that I'm your favorite uncle and that I don't have any kids of my own. All my nieces and one nephew are my children. And unfortunately, I've never had the pleasure of really witnessing these two interact as a couple. And because we live worlds apart, and but thankfully for Facebook, Colin discovered how cool I am. So that's why he made me ask me to be his godfather. But I decided to write things in my advice so as I wouldn't forget. The thing from the sea that I chose happens to be blue and kind of phallic in shape. So I think of all the godparents, I may be the one to offer the advice when it comes to the other department. So, since I decided to write it in a language that maybe Colin and Lorraine as surfers would kind of understand. So bear with me, let me just read it so that I don't screw it up.
Is your big surfer?
Well, I deem that the best way to give you guys some advice is in how to make a marriage work is to speak in terms of a language that you guys might understand. Now that you are married and can now finally discover the pleasures of sex, since I can only imagine how patient you guys have been as good Catholics for all these years. It's for my sister's sake. You will soon discover that making love is just like surfing. It always feels good, no matter how many times you do it. To a couple who loves to surf, waves and sex are similar in the sense that, oh wait, I should have deleted that one second. I had my partner read it and he said that it might be too racy for this crowd. But would you like me to hear it? Would you like me to? No? Yes? No? Well, okay, you said yes? Couple? Okay, yes. Couple wins. I said that to a couple who loves to surf, waves and sex are similar in the sense that every increase in inches gets both of them excited. Right? Or waves in feet, I guess. Lorraine, no need to be nervous about your wedding night. It will just be like a wave. If it swells, go ride it. Colin, a wife can be like the weather. She can be unpredictable, but when her conditions are perfect, I assure you that she will be just like a great day to surf. Marriage is like surfing. You will have a lot of wipeouts, but you always have to try again until you catch that perfect wave and ride it to the end. Seriously, marriage is not perfect. No marriage is. If ever you meet someone who claims that their marriage is perfect, go ask their spouse in private. It's not always going to be easy. What you were as a couple when you first met, when you first fell in love, when you decided to spend the rest of your life together, won't be the same as you get older, as you have kids, as you change careers, as you buy a house, as you change where you live, and so on. Your relationship will change as you evolve. But what helps is that you never lose sight of what you guys promised each other today. You will have tough, challenging times in your marriage, but keep in mind that it will get better if you want it to. Never stop keeping the lines of communication open as you evolve as individuals and as a couple, so that you never grow apart. Continue to have a sense of humor. Even if your friends and family don't get you, as long as you get your partner, and she continues to make you smile and can make you laugh until you cry, then you're on the right path. Learn to fight for your love, and by that I mean, when you're having a disagreement, are crying and hurting after a big argument, close your eyes and concentrate on that special corner in your heart to remind yourself of the love you have for each other, even when at that moment she is acting the most unlovable. I don't believe in the saying, Don't go to bed angry. Sometimes you need a timeout, and it is okay to ask for a timeout. I'm still continuing to learn that disagreements don't have to be settled right away. It is okay to process it on your own, then come back to each other when both of you agree that both of you are ready. Continue to remind yourself that men and women think and perceive things differently. Remind yourselves that your spouse was also raised with a different culture and a set of different parents and family and support groups. That difference adds another dimension in your differences. Learn to embrace it and work with what you're comfortable with, but use these differences to make yourself into a more well-rounded, highly evolved human being. On our wedding day, your Uncle Bill, as part of our wedding vows, shared to the party the same story he wrote to you a couple of weeks ago before you emailed me that I have to do this speech. So he's kind of stole my thunder. Early in our relationship, each time I met a couple who had been together for more than 25 years, this was when I was in my early 20s, it would immediately catch my attention. In one of our trips, during our first years together, we met this elderly gay couple that had been together for 37 years. Wow, in straight years, that's 37 times 7. So you can imagine how I was so impressed that I immediately inquired so brazenly without any regard to appearing being nosy. I'm Filipino, so I'm nosy. So I asked them, what is your guy's secret? One of them leaned over to me and sassily said, said to me, honey, just remember, it will never be 50-50. I eventually learned that to be true. There will be days when one spouse gives more than the other. There will be days when the other works harder in keeping in peace and harmony, and so on. Well, over time, it does sort of balance itself out. Lastly, my favorite quote that will help guide you in your marriage: don't sweat the petty stuff, but always pet the sweaty stuff. I love you guys.